Greetings and salutations. How you doing? This is just a quick video. It is an update on my U-turn orbit turntable in combination with the Stanton 500 Mark II broadcaster series cartridge. I have done separate videos on the turntable and on the cartridge when I got it. But I was sitting here going through some 45s today and I thought maybe I ought to give everybody a little update. So this orbit, I think I've had it about 3 years now. I have been through 2 motors on the machine, so this is actually the 3rd motor. I ended up getting a couple of bad ones. The company had a few that slipped through their QA, and they were extremely nice, the folks at U-Turn, and sent me new motors both times. No questions asked, no shipping, no nothing, which was wonderful. And so I changed that out. The tone arm has been a glory to use. This is the Orbit OA2 tone arm. When these first came out, they did not have anti-skate, the original models, and then they redesigned the tone arm, and now it has anti-skate built in. The range of the anti-skate is fixed, and it seems to be from about 1.5 to 2.5 grams, which works with pretty much any magnetic cartridge out today, unless you have some reason that you need to track it 3 or 4 grams. But most of them are right around 2, so it works fine. I'm tracking the Stanton at 1.75 grams. Now, the thing about owning this cartridge, this was, as I said in the video that I posted about it, my white whale cartridge. It was the one that I have been looking for years. This is the old broadcast standard cartridge from back in the late 70s and into the 80s. Now, these are not DJ cartridges that track at 3.5 grams so people can do stupid shit like stand there and scratch their records up. No, this is for a radio station broadcasting records that they would like to keep in good condition. So it's very gentle. You can back cue it, but I'm not doing that. So it is probably going to last me quite some time. Although I do live in fear of the day when I'm going to have to replace that stylus simply because of the fact that they don't make those anymore. That is a Stanton D50, which is a 0.4 by 0.7 elliptical. And all of the replacements seem to be relatively cheap. They're like $30. Like LP Gear has one that's a direct replacement for this, but it's like $30. And they say it's 0.3 by 0.7. And I don't know what it would sound like. I'm thinking about buying one just to see. If not, I'm going to set up a search and hopefully somebody on eBay somewhere comes up with a whole drawer full of those D50s, because back in the days when these were used live on the air in the radio stations, they used an awful lot of those. And people would buy them by the box. Because in a radio station, if the turntables are running 24 hours a day, that's 12 hours a day. Those hours add up. And it used to be policy that you'd change them once a month. So, yes, I think this is probably the finest sounding cartridge that I've owned in quite some time. And I think it probably sounds as good as anything I think it sounds as good as anything that you can buy for $300-400 today. We're talking higher end cartridges. So it's been a real pleasure to use and listen to. And let's see, what else? Let me tell you a little bit about the surrounding system here. I'm going to put this down here to give you a shot of the amplifier. This is a JVC AS3 amplifier from 1979. Just did a video about that CD player. And this system is stuffed in the corner in the bedroom simply because of the fact that I can't put it in the living room. If I did, then records wouldn't play because the floor in there has issues. And it's not my house. So I can't go under there and brace it up, and don't want to anyway. I rent this place. So I just stuff it in here. I come and listen by myself anyway. That's the way this works. And I have the cabling hooked up here using the internal preamp in that JVC amplifier. And then I've got some really heavy-duty cables that run Acoustic Research Pro cables, double shielded, pure copper, all that crap that connect the turntable. And there's no noise, there's no hum, it's beautiful. And the specs on this cartridge, 35 dB of separation, unbelievable. it gets close. I don't know. I don't have a test record to be able to measure it, and I don't plan on looking a gift horse in the mouth. I can tell you that it sounds wonderful and it tracks beautifully. I have not come across any LP that's overmodulated to the point where it can't play it, and it just excels at spinning 45s, which is what I bought it for. That's why I have it. So I figured I'd give you guys an update. I'm just in love with this. I remember when I first got the Orbit, thinking to myself that this turntable would work perfectly with an old Stanton 500, and it does. I mean, it flashed into my mind. And oh, by the way, I am using a rubber mat from a Pioneer 518 turntable. It's 5 millimeters. And with the Orbit, you really need to get the vertical tracking angle right, and you can do that with a mat. It comes with a 3 millimeter, so I put a 5 on it. This is a short cart. For taller carts like the Ortofons, then you need to use the 3 millimeter mat. Or you could shim the tone arm, but that's not something I want to get into. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. We'll talk again soon.